Okay, so today we're going to try and fix this intercooler fitment on this 2005 Outback. So the problem that I'm having is, if you can see, if I try and get this as flat as possible, you'll see the intercooler is kind of mounted at an angle. The reason why is because this turbo is the clocking on the compressor side, it's ever so slightly off that it is kind of sitting out at an angle like this. Ideally, this should be pretty flat so that this connects to the throttle body as it should. I managed to get this to fit by using this aftermarket throttle body coupler that's silicone instead of plastic. So, and I thought, that would seal, but I think what I'm running into now is it drives fine in vacuum, it drives fine in lower boost, but when I go into the higher boost settings, it just feels like the car's down on power, and I'm thinking when I get into higher boost pressures, it is leaking at this flange right here. So today I'm going to try and fix that problem by reclocking the compressor housing. This is a BNR 16G Evo 3 turbo. I'm hoping to do this in the car, but we'll see how it goes. So either way, what I'm gonna do first is remove the intercooler, and we'll start from there. Removing the intercooler in one of these things is pretty easy. So you just want to disconnect your blow-off valve line, the recirc hose, and 2 bolts here, and a throttle body coupler. It should come right out. So, I think that'll be enough. And now we have 2 bolts here, which are 12s. So what I've done here so far is I've marked the housing. Let's see, right here, so I know how much to turn it. I think from looking at this anyway, there's just 5 bolts around, 3 of them here and 2 of them here. I didn't see a 6th one underneath, but hopefully it's fine, otherwise I'm gonna have to pull a turbo. So I'm going to loosen them and try, after I loosen, I'll see if this is willing to move after that. So let's give that a shot. So what I've done so far is, you can see there are some bolts around the housing, like here, 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 etc. They go all the way around. So I just kind of broke them loose for now, and what I'm hoping that will do is give me enough of room to be able to move this thing. I can't really move this by hand right now, but I have a mallet, so I'm going to try that and see if it spins. And if it does, then I'm just going to lock it back in and test fit everything to make sure it goes together right. So what I've done here so far is I took a mallet. After those bolts were loose, I hit it a couple times on this flange right here, and as you can see, we have moved the compressor housing by about that much. So now I'm going to tighten the bolts back up, just snug them for now, and refit the intercooler to see if I could get any better alignment out of it. So now I test fitted the intercooler, and I actually went back to the OEM throttle body inlet also. And now what you can see here is I even was able to put this intercooler brace back on, which I wasn't able to do before. The intercooler closes down on this flange much better, and this intercooler is also sitting much more level than it used to be. So I think I'm gonna call that good. I'm going to go ahead and take all this back off, tighten the compressor housing bolts and connect everything back up and see, start it up and see what happens. So I don't really know the torque spec for these bolts, but just kind of remember how it felt to loosen them and kind of go for the roughly the same number. I know that's not very great, but that's all I can do for now. You definitely don't want to over tighten them because they're threading into an aluminum housing. It's small hardware. There's a pretty good chance if you over tighten it, then you're gonna end up stripping something. Here. Oh, don't forget the blow-off valve line because the car won't idle without it, and of course the recirc valve also. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna, before I torque everything down, I'm gonna start the car up and make sure there's no funny noises or if I didn't introduce any new leaks compared to what it was like before. Alright, so I'm going to torque everything down to spec and go out for a test drive and see if it logs any more boost or if it feels like it spools faster. The torque specs are intercooler to turbo is 12 foot-pounds, and I'm just going to use the same for these two as well. Now we're done. Pretty straightforward.